Into the details of that because the list goes on and on. And I worked in a paper recently with my colleague about the legislation in Nigeria, and I found that there is some similar regulation happening in Nigeria as well. So you have the federal legislation coming from the Federal Ministry of Environment, and then you have the waste legislation for each state. So waste is not that easy to deal with. So we are in the UK, based on the European influence, whatever people in Brussels say that we want to do this legislation, we'll send it to all the member states. Here in the UK, they have to deal with it. So a lot of this regulation has been either outdated or currently has been implemented because of the force of the European directives. Who actually involved as environment, as agency, government agencies here in the UK? There's a couple of different agencies. DEFRA work as the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs. They work in different requirements, especially for municipal solid waste. So they work into funding of local authorities. They invest into and giving funding through public partnership funding or public-private partnership to build infrastructure in the UK. They are actually also involved in collecting data about waste, municipal solid waste in the UK. Also, they are funding a lot of research and have scientific committees on waste management. And they invested over £30 million in the last 7 years in the waste infrastructure delivery program in order to provide some waste demonstration plans in the UK to show that actually we can have different technologies for waste management treatment. Other government involvement, government agency involvement is BIS, Department for Business Innovation and Skills. They work with the industry and commercial sectors. They work also into the producers' responsibilities. So big retailers have to make sure that their packaging use, for example, has been to be recycled and coming back to the cycle of coming from their facilities. Also how they can reduce their energy consumption. And that's take us to the carbon, which is responsibility of the Department for Energy and Climate Change, because the UK government wants to reduce their reduce their carbon emission by 2020. That's the vision, and reduce that through various sectors. One of them is the waste resources sector, and they work on also with DEFRA and the energy groups. In order to encourage the business and the waste sector here, we have the Waste and Resources Action Program. They looking into very specific sectors like of waste, so whether it's municipal solid waste or demolition and construction waste, and also different industries like food industries, for example, and how to increase at the same time working with the local authority to increase public participation. So a lot of the program is working on waste prevention or zero waste places, which we have been involved into, or keep Britain tidy. That's one of the projects as well. Environment agency is the regulator. So if you have a violation, if you are industry or commercial, and you have violated the law, they are the prosecutor, and they give the permits to all the waste industry to handle waste, treat waste, or to dispose of waste. They also regulate and work with the Ofcom, which is the water regulators and all the water companies in the UK. So back again, what is the waste management in the UK? It's basically based on, we're all actually driven by the EU landfill directive. EU land directive in Brussels, they said, okay, we want to reduce the amount of biodegradable waste going to the landfill. The UK has been depending on the landfill for the last decades, and what happened is that they said that's enough, that's not actually sustainable. We're throwing valuable material into landfill. Landfill is a big hole, just engineered, put the waste, cover it, mission accomplished, and that's not a sustainable solution. So around 1999, they said, okay, all the countries who has a lot of landfill, over 80% of their waste, especially municipal solid waste, have to reduce the amount by 2010 by 75% of 1995 quantity.